If you are here for Facebook ads in Command, you are in the right place. If you are here for customizing your website because Brett doesn't know his own schedule, then you are in the wrong place, and that's coming up later in the month. All right. So let's get started here. My name, if we're meeting for the first time, I am Brett Bishop. I'm 21 years as a realtor, third generation realtor. As of this last year, in my amazing new office with a few of you that are on this call, top 10% of agents in the Fort Myers and the Islands Market Center sold $5.6 million in volume. I tell you that not to brag, but to let you know that I am not just a nerd. I'm a practicing agent, so I know how this stuff applies to real estate, and a fairly successful one at that as well. I'm a virtual market center tech trainer with Protocol, which is how most of you know me. I'm also a labs advisor. If you don't know what that means, I actually get to beta test a lot of the features of Command before they get released to you. And in fact, when you see my website today, you will see that my website has some features that yours doesn't, and I will just end it there and let you know that mine looks a little different for specific reasons. And then I'm also the founder of Realty Tech Guru, which primarily is a YouTube channel that I run. You might see some tech updates that I provide and things like that. Most recently, the fact that all Keller Williams agents have access to Gemini Advanced now, as long as you know how to get into your kw.com email. All right. So our objective today is to learn how to create Facebook ad campaigns in Command. And the benefits are that you will control your own internet lead generation and generate leads exclusive to you on your budget. Now, when I say exclusive to you, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not also on Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin and blah, 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 because most of us probably realize that when somebody starts searching around the internet, they are everywhere, are they not? Right? So they're just kind of click happy, clicking all over the place. But what that does mean is that when that lead comes to you, it lives and dies with you until you follow up with it. So one of the things that we need to have in place before we run our first Facebook ad is that we need to have the smart plan in place. Okay, I'll give you a small glimpse of what a smart plan looks like for that follow-up. This class is primarily about creating those Facebook ads, but it's very imperative that you have your smart plan set up ahead of time, because, and I have been guilty of this on more occasions than I would like to admit, but I will be fully transparent with you. I have had many leads come in and not follow up with them, and that's the worst thing that we can do, right? So we definitely have to have that in place first. All right, does anybody have any questions before we start? Anybody know or question whether you're set up connected with Facebook and Command and any of that stuff?
Yeah, how can I double check to make sure that I am connected to Facebook and Command?
Awesome. Is it Mai? Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yeah, Miley.
Miley. So great question. And I'm going to kind of guide you through that a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is you're actually going to click on your name in the top right corner of Command, and you're going to go to Settings. And then once you go to Settings, you're looking for Facebook post scheduling right there. And if that says manage and connect more, then you are connected. If it doesn't, then we need to connect you.
All right. Yeah, I need to get connected. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else have any questions? Is everybody connected as far as they know? Yep. Okay. Awesome. I'll give Miley a second to get connected, and we'll jump into it. So we are going to go to campaigns. Now, the other thing that's imperative is that you know how to access your KW
Hey,
website.
Brett.
Yeah.
Sorry
Hey,
to bother you, man, but I only see 1/4 of your screen, and then all the rest of it's just a big black square. It's like I want to like physically move it over.
But I don't know why.
I can only see just just a percent of it.
All right. Let me see what is anybody else having a problem seeing the slides? No.
No, it's just me.
It's on your end, buddy. It's a you. I hate to tell you this, but it's a
Why
user
wouldn't
error.
it be? Of course it is. I hate technology. My God. All right, hold on. Let me see something. It says standard view.
All right.
I'm all set on my end. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Miley.
Well, that sucks. I can't see it. Well, I can see Miley. Hi, Miley. I can see her.
Well, now you should be able to see all of our faces,
now I can see
right?
Now you're in the middle. Now share your screen. I'll bet I can see it now.
All right. So now I'm going to share the screen and we're going to jump in. So like I said, it's imperative that you know how to access your kw.com website because that's what we're going to use. Or you can follow the same process if you're using a different website that you pay for. Okay. The point is we want to direct traffic to your website. So by a show of hands, how many of you have actually done Facebook ads in the past? 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. And everybody that just joined us, if you can come on camera, that would be fantastic. I don't like teaching to names on the screen.
Hey, Brett, can I?
Yeah.
Something you just said.
Yeah.
Another website. So I have a Real Geek site, right? They have a Facebook manager. Could I use Command to target ads over to my Lee County Online, which is my Real Geek site?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So I'm gonna teach to the Keller Williams site because everybody has it. It's included in your tech fee. But if you do have another website like Brett does, then you'll follow the same process. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a search for properties, and then we're going to use that search in a Facebook ad. Kathy, do you have a question? Or is that your show of hand? Okay, thank you. That's all right. So yeah, the process would be the same, and we'll jump into that. Hi, Donna. Okay.
Pay for our admin to be on here so they can learn too.
Yes, absolutely. I am all for that. It's just when the call started, there was a bunch of otter AIs on here, and I do not like that at all.
Oh, okay. And hopefully it wasn't mine.
It's all right. I didn't see your name on it.
Okay.
Okay. So if you don't know how to access your KW website, and I'm going to give you some information that you may not be aware of, but our KW websites are fantastic. And the most important thing about them that not a lot of people realize is that it has an international MLS. What do I mean by that? Well, if you look on your website, you can actually search for any property anywhere any property, caveat commercial. They don't allow commercial listings on our websites anymore. As a commercial and residential agent, I'm not happy about that, but I don't have anything to do with it and can't do anything about it. So for residential purposes, every MLS listing in the United States, Canada, Puerto Rico, other countries that are involved in the Keller Williams system, they can all be accessed on your KW website. For most other websites that people pay for, like if it's an IDX broker site, Real Geeks, like Brett mentioned, there's so many of them out there, right? Boomtown and Brivity, all those websites, you get one IDX connection, which typically is going to be your home MLS. And when I'm in an area like I'm in Stellar, but I'm right on the cusp of the Florida Gulf Coast MLS too. So I have 2 MLSs that I'm a member of. That would cost me $500 roughly alone for those 2 connections. And you can imagine it would be absolutely cost prohibitive to try to connect every MLS to a website, and just know that your Keller Williams website has that. It's a huge advantage. Okay. So here's how we access our Keller Williams website. It is the last icon down on the left-hand side. And if you don't know what those are and you get tired of hovering over them, you can actually just click this white KW in the red box in the top corner, and that will expand the menu and let you see everything in one shot. Makes it a lot easier. All right. And then we're going to go to settings. And then right here is where you're actually going to see the settings for your website. So as far as what the domain is, if you ever wanted to change the domain name, the subdomain of your Keller Williams website, you can do that here, but this will tell you what it is. And then down here are your URLs. So this is your website URL, and this is the URL for your app. Okay. So this is when I say go to your website, this is what we're talking about right here. It's going to be this URL. For single agents, it looks a little bit different. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm working from my team account. In the single agent website, it's going to look like this. And this is also where we set forced registration. Okay. So forced registration means when somebody visits your website, how many properties do they get to look at before there's a pop-up that asks them to register so that you can capture that lead. It is entirely up to you. I wish there was a middle choice of about 5. I think that's the sweet spot. For me, 2 is too few. 10 is almost too many. But I have mine set at 10 because 2 is way too few. And you'll see as we build this ad, I need to be able to access my own website multiple times. And if I have it set on 2, it's actually going to lock me out and make me sign up on my own website. So that's why I have mine set at 10. You can have it set to unrestricted. Again, that's entirely up to you, but you are giving the milk away for free all day long, every day. So it's just up to you. Personal choice. All right, I'm going to pop back over to my team site. Okay, so that's what we need for our website. And I'm going to go ahead and open a new tab for that. Okay, so now you can follow my cursor a little better. All right, so I'm going to grab another tab up here next to command, and I'm actually going to have my website ready to go. All right, and like I said, for those of you that weren't here when we first got started, we have a relatively small group. As long as we don't start talking over each other and everything, I am perfectly okay with you just interrupting politely if you have a question or anything before I get too far away from what you have a question about. And I will stop periodically as well and ask for questions. Okay, so I got my website up there. Now, I'm going to show you what a basic smart plan looks like. Just because, like I said, that is the most important thing to have done before you run a Facebook ad. So I'm going to go to Smart Plans, which is the 4th icon down that left-hand column of icons or applets. They're technically called applets. And I'm going to search for FB for my Facebook Smart Plans. And one thing that you're going to notice, and I'm going to tell you, is that my ad, my smart plan, and my custom tags for the contacts and leads that come in will all have an identical name. So like Facebook ad Northport Pool 400K, that's the name of the smart plan. And that means that it's a Facebook ad, Northport Pool Homes under 400. Okay, my custom tag is going to say the same thing, and the name of the ad is the same thing. And that way I keep everything lined up, and it doesn't cause confusion later when things start coming in. Okay, so that is, and if you guys would like to, you can actually, I'll give you the gist of the smart plan that you can go download for yourself. So here's how you would do it, and then you can customize it to make it your own. You're going to go to library up here. So when you open smart plans, it starts with my smart plans that are team smart plans, depending on which account you're on. And it shows you what all smart plans you personally have. If you go to library, these are all the smart plans that are available that KW International and all agents and leadership everywhere, if they have a smart plan that they think is great, they can publish it here, and anybody can use it and customize it. Now, caveat, make sure that you read the smart plan. There is a tech trainer out of Philadelphia that was getting all kinds of hate mail because agents were very mad that his contact information was showing up in their smart plan. And that's because they downloaded it from said tech trainer and they didn't customize it to themselves. Okay, so make sure you customize that with your own information. All right, so you can search by smart plan or by author name. I'm going to put in author name and then just search for me, Brett Bishop.
I knew it was you.
And then you've got Facebook ad Northport Pool 400K. That's the one I would recommend because that's the one I've spent the most time actually doing something with. So you can download that, see what it looks like, and use that as kind of a baseline to develop your own smart plan for follow-up. Any questions before we move on? All right. Okay. So, considering that we would have our smart plan in place so that we're all ready to go, we're now going to move into creating a Facebook ad. So I'm going to go to campaigns. Okay, that's the megaphone icon over here. And most importantly, you do have another place where you can set this up, but payments is right here. When you click on payments, is it a different place? Okay, scratch that. We'll see it in a different place. All right, so I'm at my dashboard. And I want to create a new campaign. So I'm going to go to create campaign. We're going to choose paid ad. Okay. And then once I get here, I have all these options to choose from. They can be confusing for sure. And the main thing that I'm going to tell you is that as an agent who wants successful leads, you're going to use any of these that have the blue includes Facebook lead form. All right. Any of the ones that say use your landing page lead form, there is about a 1% chance that an agent would ever need to use that. And it's for very specific things. So we have Brett Ellis on the call with us. He has a big team out of my office, and he does things where you might use your own landing page. So if there's like a photo event that you do at Christmas time and you're trying to do some kind of sign up or something like that, or a reverse bold 100. Does everybody know what a reverse bold 100 is? So a reverse bold 100 is where instead of you meeting 100 people and passing out your business cards and all that, you actually offer like a giveaway of some sort, and those 100 people come to you. That's the only time you would ever really use something like that, where you use your own landing page. We're always going to use one of these that says includes Facebook lead form. And if you don't believe me or you disagree with me, I totally can understand. You might want to find out for yourself. And I will tell you that you will get absolutely 0 leads from any of these that say use your landing page. Okay. So what we're going to do, listing single image or video. All right. So if you do have a video is king. Video is fantastic. Even if it's like just a quick video of the front of a house, just to make it engaging, right? Video is going to be king. Multi-image is second best because there's more than one photo to choose from. And then the least interesting is a single image, a single static still image. All right, so we are going to use, believe it or not, I'm not going to create a Facebook ad around a listing. Does anybody have any questions on that? Does anybody know why I don't want to create? Well, let me ask you this. What's the main reason I would create a Facebook ad for a single property? Anybody can come off
Sell
mute
the
and tell me.
property. to sell that property.
Open
Right.
house.
Bring buyers.
What's that, Myra?
Bring buyers to the property.
You would think, but that's not what happens. The
Promote
only
an open
reason,
house.
yeah, an open house is a great idea, Brett. And then like if I was doing one just to like showcase that property, I'm only doing that to make the seller happy. I am not going to get many leads from that. Okay. So what all of my ads are, and the most successful ads that I've run, to the point, and when I say most successful, to the point that if I pay for a $30 ad, I can consistently get about 38 leads. Okay. So for people that are buying Zillow leads and spending, Lord only knows how much money on Zillow leads, right? I know you're paying more than $1 a lead. And with a successful Facebook ad, you can get to about $1 a lead. So when I run that $30 ad, I'll get anywhere between 28 and 40 leads typically. Sometimes seasonality comes into play. And so when I normally get my best ones is when I'm running them right about now, when we're in the seasonal months. And my ad is going to be all about pool homes to cool off in those hot Florida summers, but also to get out of the snow permanently, right? So I'm not going to use a listing. I'm not going to use the first one or the second one or the third one. I'm going to use a non-listing single image or video. So that's the one that we're going to choose. The way this is laid out, I'm going to shrink this a little bit so we can see a little more of it. Okay, so the way this is laid out is I create my ad over here, and I get a snapshot of what that ad looks like over here. I'm going to choose from this drop down to make sure that it's on the right Facebook page, which it is, so that is good. If it's not for some reason, you can go to link new page and select the right page. Some agents have more than one page for certain reasons. So you just want to make sure the right page is linked. And then here it's important to know how your geography is in the area that you're in. I know we've got a lot of agents from the Ubaldini group, and say like the Clearwater office, you've got Dunedin there, and then farther out, you've got Tarpon Springs and Lutz and Tampa and all those areas. So just knowing like how much of the market you're trying to hit is helpful. For me here, I have 3 sister cities that are important to me. I have Northport to the north, Port Charlotte where I am, and Punta Gorda to the south. Those are the 3 major cities that I operate in. And when I run an ad, I want to make sure that it reaches all 3 of those cities. So knowing that, if I have a property in Northport or a property in Punta Gorda, right, vice versa, the 2 opposite ends of the spectrum, 15 miles and 20 miles is not going to do it for me. I have to go 25 miles for it to pick up one end to the other. So if you know things like that, it's helpful for you. I can actually target postal codes or cities. You can put in multiple zip codes if that helps you. So up to 10. Okay, a lot of people don't realize that, but you can actually put in multiple zip codes if you do it right. So I would say 33980, and I'm going to select that. You actually have to select it from the drop down, 33952, and then I need to make sure I select that from the drop down, and it will build the list out for me like that. Okay. For me and what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to put in Northport and then select it from the drop down. And then I'm going to take this out 25 miles so that I pick up Punta Gorda in that too. All right. And then image or video. I don't know if I have a video of a house. So like I said, video would be key, right? If I have a video, and it could even just be like slowly moving in front of one of your listings. It doesn't have to be some fancy video or anything. Anybody can shoot the video that you would use for this ad. It's just the video is more engaging, so you're going to get more people to click. So use a video. That being said, because I don't know where I have a video, I'm going to use a still image on this one. All right, so I'm going to go to select, and it also gives you the dimension guidelines, which is super helpful because throughout a lot of places at Command, we don't know what the picture sizes should be, but it is provided to us here. So I'm going to hit select from media, and I will add new media. And I'll go find one real quick. Any questions while I'm working on this?
Do we preview all of our stuff before like approving it and paying for it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So that preview is going to build and populate as I'm creating the ad.
Okay.
So that's going to be the final of what it's actually going to look like.
Okay.
All right.
I know
So
because I was going to follow along with you, but I was like, I don't want to pay something yet.
I'll provide the recording to everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to throw that guy in there. And then we have our body text here. I never remember what goes where, so I just start typing in a bunch of gibberish until I see it populate on the right-hand side. Now I know that that's going over the photo. And so my body, I can have up to 255 characters. So we see the character limits here, and 55 characters on the headline, which is going to be in bold underneath the photo or video. Okay. And we do have emojis. So I highly recommend that you use emojis. It's more engaging. It catches people's eye and helps to stop the scroll. And I'm just going to say something along the lines of looking to cool off for the upcoming, and then I have to be careful of my character limit too, for the upcoming Florida summer. And then I'm going to throw in an emoji here. I'm going to hit our emoji key. I'm going to throw in a snowflake. Okay, cool off for the upcoming Florida summer. And then we're going to throw in a hot sun right there. And then I'll just say something along the lines of, we have plenty of pool. And then I'm going to find that if I can. So emoji again, pool. Available in Northport. And then I'm going to use the comma FL just because it's a common search term. In Northport, Florida. We have plenty of pool homes available in Northport, Florida. Click. And then I'm going to use so I'm looking at this because it helps me figure out what I want to say, right? So I'm going to use a finger pointing down because I'm drawing attention to this learn more button down here. So I'm going to click on my emojis and I can just say finger down. Be very careful which finger you use. All right, so we're going to say click. Learn more. To see the free list. Like that. Or you could say to see a free list of MLS listings. Anytime you're using something like MLS listings, it lets them know that it's official. Because is Zillow official? No. Zillow has all kinds of for sale by owner listings on it as well. So use this as a guideline, but feel free to use your own terminology too, obviously. And then my headline is going to say, view all of the MLS listings for free. And then I'm going to see where that populates. And then I'm going to use an emoji for finger right. Okay. And then when I look at that, I can see that my emojis are all drawing attention to that learn more button. All right, so I'm done with the gist of the ad. Any questions up to this point? All right, now we're going to have some fun. Now we're going to go to our website, and we're actually going to perform that search. So, oh, you know what? Did I? Oh, I forgot something here. We have plenty of pool homes available in Northport. Boom. Under 400,000. I think the price point is big, and the reason it's 400,000 is because the average price range in my area is 380. Okay, so know what the average price range for a pool home, if you're being specific about pool homes, know what that average price point is. And then why do I want my ad to be geared towards the average price point? Can anybody tell me? It's a numbers game. It's simple. What is it? What's the average price point mean?
Most of the people can afford that, so you're going to draw the biggest audience.
Absolutely, Brett. Thank you. That's your largest pool of buyers is in that average price point. So it's going to reach a bigger audience. You'll have more success with this. I know a lot of agents, especially new agents that I talk to, they want to jump right into luxury and they want to like go for high price points. Your pool of buyers there is not very big at all. So if you really want to generate some successful leads, you have to know what the average price point is for the ad that you're creating. Now, if I wanted condos because I've got a hot condo market, which after being in the class yesterday, it seems like nobody has a hot condo market right now. But if you were in a hot condo market, I could gear this towards condos and then whatever that average price is. So the average price is what we're typically looking for because we have the largest pool of buyers. And like Brett said, that's where we're going to get the most interest. All right. So I'm going to go back to my homepage and just using the search bar like your customers would. I'm going to type in Northport for me. Okay, I'm going to wait for it to populate, and I want to choose the city. I don't want the neighborhood. Neighborhoods are nextdoor.com neighborhoods, and they're typically very, what do we call it? It's like a micro, what do we call that when we're like getting super local? Anyway, it's a very micro type search area, so we want something much broader. So we're going to go with the city.
Hyper local, maybe?
Hyper local. Thank you. Who was that? Oh, hi, Kathy. Thank you. Yes, hyper local. That's exactly what I was looking for. Okay, so you can see I've got my search here. All right. And then I'm actually now what I need to do is I need to get to single family because my ad is about homes. It's not about lots and condos and all that other stuff. So I'm going to go to single family. I want to choose pool and 400,000 for my max price. Okay. Outside of that, I don't care. I don't care about bedrooms, bathrooms, any of that stuff, unless I had that in my ad. If I have that in my ad, you need to deliver to the audience what you told them in the ad, right? Okay. So then I'm gonna hit for sale. Just make sure there's nothing funky on here. You don't want for rent or sold checked. It should default to just for sale. Price, I'm gonna set that maximum at 400. I'm not gonna put a minimum on. You can if you'd like, but I'm not going to. I can't imagine there's gonna be too many pool homes in this area that are like total dogs. But if there are, there might be an investor for that, right? So I'm not gonna sell myself short. All right, so I'm gonna hit apply, and then I'm gonna go to property type, and I'm going to select houses and apply. And what you'll see as I'm doing this is up here in the URL. Does everybody see the URL bar up here at the top? Right? Like where the web address is. Can everybody see that? Is it sharing that part of it? Awesome. Thank you, Donna. Everything that I'm selecting is being added to this URL. And what that means is that this will never be a dead link as long as there are properties on the market that match this search criteria. So I can run this ad over and over again as long as my market supports what this search criteria is. Because that's super important. You run an ad that has a dead link and you're just throwing money out the window, right? And we always want to, one of our Keller Williams sayings is inspect what you expect. So you always want to make sure that you know what the end result of this is. So follow that link. Make sure you're getting what you expect it to be. Same with smart plans. Even smart plans on something like this. Anytime you run a smart plan, send an email, anything like that. And it's not just true of command. Whatever your CRM is, make sure that you include yourself on those communications so that if there is something in there like a major typo or just something that looks foolish, you can catch it before it reaches everybody, or you're aware of it before the phone calls start coming in to make fun of you. Okay. Then we're going to choose pool. So I'm going over here to, let me just go back. I'm going over here to filters, and then I get more things to choose from here. Again, living area, I didn't mention. Lot size, I didn't mention. Year built. But if you do have an ad that you want to run as a preference for that, you can certainly do that. So I'm just going to go to features, and I'm going to click pool. Okay. I'm actually going to uncheck coming soon. Coming soon is not allowed in most of our areas anymore. They took it away from us a couple years ago. And NAR as a whole, however you feel about NAR these days, we won't get into that. But NAR as a whole does not like coming soon listings, and they want to get rid of them altogether. But anyway, I only want actives. Okay, and then okay, so I'm good there. Because I see these, I just want to give you another idea. That's a great idea for a Facebook ad. Do you see price reduced here? I could actually check this as a filter, and I could run an ad that is based on here's all the price reductions in Fort Myers, in Clearwater, in Dunedin, in Port Charlotte, whatever, right? Whatever city I'm in, here's all the price reductions in the last 7 days, and run an ad around that. Things like that, where it might sound like a hot buy or a better deal to the person that's going to see that ad. Those have a lot of success too. So it's something that it's another ad you can build your add on based on a filter like that, where you've got like hot buys of the week or something like that. Okay, I'm not going to use that for this purpose. And then I'm going to say show 98 results. Okay, so still within Northport, I have 98 homes under 400,000 that have a pool. Does that sound like a better ad with more to choose from and more to keep a potential buyer engaged than one single property?
Yes, and you want to make sure whatever result has more than 10, because if there's only 8 matches and you've got the 10 before they sign up, you'll never get a lead.
That's a very good point, Brett. Unless you luck out and they click on the same property a couple times. Yeah, very good point. Okay, so I have what I'm looking for the ad. I'm going up here to my URL, and we saw that the URL was built as we added the search criteria. So we have search, for sale, Northport, and then I come along here. This is all just like geolocation stuff. It's longitude and latitude. And then I can see I've got Northport, Florida as the city, the price 400 and below, my sub property type of house, listing status active, and keywords pool. Everything I search for is built into that URL. So I'm going to right click on that and copy it. And however you copy and paste, don't ask me on Mac. It's a nightmare for me. Me and Mac trackpads don't get along at all. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go back over to my ad and command. And then right here where it says custom landing page URL, okay, don't let that throw you off. This is actually the website that we're sending them to, okay? Landing page we do not want. If I click landing page here, it's going to actually look in your command system for landing pages that you've created, but we don't want that. Okay, we want to use the Facebook lead capture form. So I'm going to leave this at enter URL, and I'm going to actually click in here. I'm going to left click in here, and I'm going to take this HTTPS out, because if you don't, it will put it in there twice, and then you'll be seriously aggravated wondering why you can't move on in the ad, and that's why that's in there twice. Okay, then I'm going to right click and paste that URL that I copied from my website. Okay.
So,
And-
Brett,
Yeah.
I'm liking the command, and I'm thinking about maybe switching things over to command for this. But if I wanted to do a different website, that's where I would put the whatever search results to send them there.
Absolutely. So you're going to do the search on your Real Geek site, buddy, the same way we did on the KW site, and you're going to put that
Yeah.
URL there.
Okay.
Yep. Patricia,
Hey, I want
Hi.
to ask how you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good to
Good to
see
see you
you.
again.
I'm good. Yeah, you too. Hey, I was gonna ask, as far as the landing pages, right? Is that a whole shebang more to do if you want to create landing pages to capture leads, or what is the difference in between that and going straight to the Facebook system?
Yeah. So if you use your own landing page, I can guarantee you will never get a lead,
And why is that?
because you are asking somebody for their information before you've given them anything of value.
Mm,
Okay, so the way that this works, and I'll take us back. I know that you came on a little bit after we started, so I'll take you
I
back.
did,
No,
yeah, I
it's
missed a bunch. I'm so lost, but
it's
I'm
okay.
listening.
It's okay, and I don't mean to call you out. I didn't mean it like that. I
It's
just
fine.
let you know that we
Yeah.
did cover that, and I'll show it to you when we get to the end. Okay,
Yeah.
just
Sure.
remind me in case I forget.
Okay.
So what, Patricia, what we're using is specifically non-listing lead generation. Facebook includes Facebook lead form. So when you're on that first, when you say I want to create a new ad, or create a new campaign, and it gives you all those squares of choices, we want to use any of the ones that have the blue includes Facebook lead form. Because what happens with that is when somebody clicks on, who knows more about ourselves than we do?
Facebook.
That's right,
Yeah.
Facebook. So the user is not even going to have to enter any information. Facebook's going to pop up this form. It's going to say, is this information correct? Is this the information you want to pass along? They click yes or next and go on to the next screen, and that is the lead capture that you're provided.
I see. Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, lead settings. This is a fantastic way to get them started on Smart Plan right away and to tag them. There's a lot of different ways that we can look at how we want to automatically start the lead follow-up, and we can kind of have a Q&A at the end. This will probably generate some questions, so feel free to write them down and ask me at the end or next time I ask for questions. We can have the leads that come in from this automatically get tagged with a contact tag, which I highly recommend, because otherwise you have to try to figure out where they came from. Not that you can't, but it just makes it more difficult. We can also automatically assign them to a Smart Plan here if we wanted to. I prefer to have them automatically tagged, and when they get that tag on my Smart Plan, you can actually have that Smart Plan launch every time this tag is added to a contact. Does that make sense? So a lead comes in with the tag FB NP Pool 400. And because I set up my Smart Plan with what's known as a trigger tag, any lead that comes in with that tag will automatically start that Smart Plan. Okay? So if that doesn't make sense, write your question down and we'll go over that to where I can jump into the different sections and show you. All right. So I am going to have this go to that tag that I have. I'm going to go to FB and it should pull it up for me. Maybe. There we go. FB add NP pool 400K. So I'm going to use that one. If for some reason I don't have the tag, I can spell it out and you can have it. You could have it do multiple tags if you wanted. So not saying that I advise this, but everybody's organizational thoughts are a little bit different. If I wanted to have a tag of all Facebook ad leads, I could have one Facebook ad leads, and then I could have another one that is specific to this ad. Does that make sense to everybody? Not that you would necessarily want to do it that way, but if you wanted to inspect your database to see everybody that came in as a Facebook ad, then you could do that. But I would start typing in whatever that is, and then you see create as new tag. You want to make sure that you spell out exactly what that tag is going to be before you hit create new tag, because if I had it at face B before I finished typing it out and I hit create as new tag, it would have created a new tag as face B. So make sure you spell it all out before you hit create new tag. And then you get an error message like that and it doesn't matter anyway. We're going to forget that we saw that, right? Everybody with me? I'll show you another place that we can create tags. So maybe that's why it did it for me, so that I'm forced to show you where else to create them. All right. But for me, typically, I just have the one tag that I put on it. And again, my custom tag for the contacts or the leads, right? These are leads because they're a one-way conversation when they come in. My leads have a tag of FB add NP pool 400K. My ad is called FB add NP pool 400K. And my Smart Plan is called FB add NP pool 400K, so that they all line up and there's no confusion for me. That being said, okay, I think it's the next page where I have to give it a name now. Used to be on the first page. Okay, so I got that tag. I'm good. DBA logo is just what it's. So for this account, I actually have the luxury logo, but it would be your Keller Williams office logo, whatever that is. Fort Myers and the Islands, KW Realty, KW Portfolio Collection, whatever it happens to be. All right, and then we're going to go to now, new feature of ads. If you've tried to run them in the past and you're building it and you get to a point where something pressing is happening, the dog just jumped on the stove and flipped over everything, and you got a fire burning, and you had to get up and walk away from your ad, and now you can't get back to it, right? It used to be that you had to finish the ad, but now we have save as draft. So you can save these. You do not have to finish them. You can save them wherever you're at. Right? I'm going to go to proceed to last step. And then this is where I'm going to choose my time, the budget, and my billing is here as well. All right. Okay, so see program name. This is where I need to change the name. So it has this long name that I don't want it to be. So I'm actually going to change that. It's using the name of the campaign that we chose. So I'm going to change this by hitting that pencil. And then this name is going to line up with my tag in my smart plan. So it's going to be FB ad NP pool 400 or whatever it is. I actually would like go back and make sure I know exactly what it is so every character lines up. It just makes it easier for me. I think I have it at 400K.
Would you consider putting a date there so you know about when the lead came in?
Well, the lead will tell you that. My mind, when you say put a date there, it's to let me know when I ran this ad. But I think now, Brett, everything gets time and date stamped because it will keep a history of that. So let's see when I save this or run it. Let's see. And then if not, then yes, I would absolutely put the date there so I know exactly when I ran it. Okay. So the other thing that I think is important is that you run it, if at all possible, across 2 weekends of traffic, especially when you're doing open houses, right? But I like to catch 2 weekends. Why? Because that's when people are out moving around in their cars, flipping through Facebook while they're driving, right? Hopefully their spouse is driving and they're not the ones flipping through Facebook. So I try to cover 2 weekends if I can. So I'll just look at the calendar here if I'm going to start it. So let's say I want to start it tomorrow, and then I want to finish it on Monday. On a $50 ad, my daily spend would be $455. I can also bring this down. It will tell you, though, that you're too low if you get too low. So 40 is where I have to start this ad. Okay, if I drop down below that, it says you are currently not meeting the minimum spend per day. Please arrange your schedule. So I could, if I wanted to just run a quick ad, say I wanted to run a quick ad to promote an open house. Let me see what I get when I shorten this up. Okay. So then 30 works, 25 works, 20 works, 15 works. So depending on your budget, it's just a time versus dollar for the spend, right? If I only have $15 to spend, I can do that. I just have to shrink the amount of time that the ad is actually out there for, so I'm reaching my daily spend limit. So when I say that you can set your own budget, you can for the most part, right? I can't get down to like $5 or $10. It doesn't typically work like that. But $15 is better than a 6-month contract with Zillow at thousands of dollars a month, right? I can just kind of set my own spending. So I'm going to take this back out to 24. And then we'll put this at the 40. Wherever I was with this, 23. There we go. Okay. And then you've got your billing in there. And then you hit purchase now, and it's ready to go. Okay. I'm going to save mine as a draft, but does anybody have any questions on this part of it?
This video is going to be available after, right?
Yes.
For us
Yep,
to look,
absolutely,
yeah.
Patricia. Yep.
Okay.
Is that a good number, Brett? $40 for the ad?
Yeah, for that time, that's a 10-day ad.
That's legit.
And,
That's like a
and
good
notice
number. Okay.
too, it's Facebook and Instagram. If I have both of my accounts set up, it's going to both of them.
Cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Bill.
How you doing? Hey, so when you're doing the ads, if you have multiple properties, you talked about the leads coming in and being tagged. Are they going to be separated, or is it all going to come in on a blast? Or are they going to be segregated to that specific ad?
They'll all be specific to the ad, but if your ad is advertising multiple properties, it doesn't know which one necessarily it would belong to. You know what I mean? Because the ad has multiple properties in it. It's basically just photos they're looking at. But if I run, yeah,
Right, but if one's like 200,000 and the other one's 600,000, and they're in that category for 100,000 or 600,000, I was just wondering if they're going to be split up.
So on the same ad, if a lead came in different price ranges, would it know to split it? Is that what you're asking? No, it would not. Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't know that. So for all it knows is the ad is 400 and under, and it's just those are all the people that are going to come in for that ad. If I wanted to segregate it like that, I would have to have multiple ads for the different price ranges.
Okay.
Okay.
That would probably be the answer that I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's a great
Okay.
question though. Yeah, thank you.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do you see that if it runs longer that you get better traction? Or
Across 2 weekends, yes, Donna, you'll get better traction if it runs across 2 weekends. I would also say that you're going to get better traction with a higher daily spend because the daily spend is relative to the placements. If I spend more money, Facebook puts it in front of more people each day. Okay. So you can see, like, if I increase this budget and I go to 50, my daily spend's at 455. If I raise this, let's say I wanted to go to like $10, it's 110, but they're putting it in front of a heck of a lot more people at that point. Either way, depending, like I always try to teach to the most value. I was once a very long time ago, an agent getting started and didn't have a budget really to start with. So the main point is that even with $15, $20, you can at least get started with Facebook ads. But if there's other avenues, like let's say that I'm spending, something I used to do, I never bought Zillow ads, but I bought Market Leader ads for a few months when we had Market Leader as our platform. And I was spending $300 or $350 a month with no good leads, no conversion. And I would take that budget or less, but I would take that same budget, put it into Facebook, and end up with 100 leads or more.
Hey, Brett.
Yeah.
Could you republish a previous ad? And the reason I asked the question is, what if you chose to run over 2 weekends, but not all the filler days in between? So you said, I want to run Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this weekend, and then just repeat the ad Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the next weekend.
Absolutely. Yep. So all of these ads will actually go into your previous programs that you've run. And where I utilize that, Brett, is if I have a successful ad, I'm going to keep running that same ad as often as I can. Okay. I also typically will benchmark like A/B compare ads, right? So I might have this ad and run the exact same ad, but in Port Charlotte. And whichever one brings me the most leads, that's the one I'm going to double down on. So I'll benchmark ads a lot where I run exactly the same ad with just a little tweak here, whether it's the city or a different price range or with or without a pool. And I'll double down on whichever one's performing better.
Hey, Brett, I've run
Yeah.
Facebook ads for what feels like 50 years, just through various different companies doing it for me doing it myself, and then they changed the algorithm and all this crap. So
Yep.
I stopped doing it for a few years. So what kind of conversion rate are you seeing on these now? Because I really had given all hope up for Facebook. I never got anything from it.
Okay, well, let's I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute and let's have a conversation around that because I think it's an important conversation. So does anybody know the typical kicking tires to contract lifespan of an internet lead?
A year.
That's like right in the sweet spot. Yes, it is 12 to 18 months. Okay. These leads are no different. But a lot of times those Zillow leads and realtor.com leads and everything else are no different. Internet leads are something that you build your pipeline on. Okay. Because they do take time to convert to a bona fide contract, sale, commission check, right? I know Brett can tell me, I'm sure there's a couple others. Who are we reaching out to for our immediate business?
Sphere. Network.
Yep, absolutely. Sphere is important. If you have the gumption for it, expireds and FSBOs are another way to get immediate business. Not everybody has the gumption for that. I don't, but fortunately I'm married to somebody who that doesn't faze her. So she does that stuff at a very high level.
Dude, they're my specialty. I taught classes on how to get FSBOs and expireds.
Yeah. Well, you're braver than I am. I hide behind my computer.
So Brett, can we still advertise to our database instead of to the Facebook database?
Yeah, you can market to your database instead.
The reason I asked that question is on the Real Geeks, and I'm considering doing it on the Command.
Mhm.
I think the industry average is a click-through rate of 1 to 2%, and I'm getting 4 to 9% on the ads that I run.
That's awesome.
But when I run, I call it a segmented ad, targeted ad, where I upload my database to Facebook, and then I select that audience, and I'll get about a 22% click-through rate.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
then about a 20% sign up off of that. So, if we could do that in Command, you're gonna quadruple your conversion.
Yeah.
By going to your own people.
Yeah, absolutely. And in marketing to them more consistently, right? Because it's not just a shot in the dark. Is the ad that I just did, is that a shot in the dark?
Somewhat,
It is.
no?
It is kinda, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm very intentional about how I build it, but I'm just throwing a line out there and hoping somebody bites on it. Whereas if I send out an ad that has my branding on it and they're in my top 300 or they're, longtime clients and customers like Brett's talking about, I'm going to get a lot more traction on that. That's not a shot in the dark. That's me staying in touch with my database, even though it's a targeted ad, right? Another great ad that you can run is if you live in a specific neighborhood or a specific area, target that. Just put that ad in front of that neighborhood. Okay, so when I choose, let me get back to that. Not that these neighborhoods are the best, because again, they're nextdoor.com neighborhoods, and in the beginning, Nextdoor let any Joe Schmo or Jane whatever just select all these boundaries for their neighborhood and call it some goofy name that didn't even make sense. However, in a lot of cases, they're accurate and I can market to a specific neighborhood. Yes, Patricia.
I want to ask on what Brett Ellis was saying.
Yeah.
He said that he uploads his database
to another system, but we have the same opportunity to do that in Command.
So uploading your database to Command from your contacts in Command kind of a thing? You upload it somewhere else and then do a campaign for that?
You can target the people that are already in Command.
Oh, I see.
Okay. I can do a
Okay.
separate training on that, or if anybody has specific questions about that, you can jump on a Pro Desk with me. If you don't know, we run Pro Desk 4 days a week. So Mondays, it's 11 to 1 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's 10 a.m. to noon. And you can just pop in anytime with those questions. And it's this same link for this class.
So
Protocol
Monday
Pro
and then
Desk.
Tuesday, Wednesday, what?
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's 10 a.m. to noon.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. And then you also have resources at all your offices too to sign up for one-on-ones with me if you'd like.
Okay, thanks for that. Okay.
Let me see. I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna take us in and show us how you would do a specific neighborhood. So let's do that.
Before you go in that,
Yeah.
I have a question. Like,
Sure.
are there like because this is what I was told, and I don't know if it's true, that
Mhm.
some ads, like some people do ads over and over and over and over and never get anything, right?
Mhm.
So, but there are some people that are very successful with doing this. So, are there already made ads that we can plug into that are successful that have gotten anything like that available that we can just plug into and kind of copy and paste kind of a thing?
So the ad that I just showed you is one of my
Mhm.
most successful, where I'll run a $30 ad and get 28 to 40 leads. So that's
Mhm.
$1 or less a lead, right? A little over
Mhm.
$1 to less than $1 a lead. There's nothing in the system that is like a template that you can already choose from. I'll just be very transparent about the mistake that most agents make when they don't get any leads. Does anybody have any ideas of what those things might be? One of them I already talked about. What's the one I mentioned that there's two that I mentioned that are definitely going to guarantee that you get 0 to few leads. Anybody know the main one?
The funnel,
Using your
right?
own
The
landing
lead.
page.
Yeah,
Exactly.
landing page. Yeah.
Using your own landing page, I can guarantee you will get 0 leads unless it's a giveaway. That's the only reason that an agent would really use something like that, if it's a giveaway or a sign up for an event. And then the other thing is a single property listing ad. The only benefit that has is to show your seller that you're marketing their property. When they see it, they love it. When other people see it, they go, ugh, that tree's brown, or ugh, the house is yellow, right? They find something in that one photo to disqualify it, and that's all they have to choose from. Whereas when they end up on the search results that we provided, they had 98 homes to browse through versus 1. And that's the key, giving them multiple properties that they can choose from and to look through.
I'm sorry if I'm ignorant about this, but so
okay.
those ads, like you pick listings, any listing can be in your ad then.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because the IDX feed, the nature of an IDX feed through the MLS gives us the ability to utilize any brokerage's listings whatsoever in an ad like that.
Okay, cool.
Because it's not a specific property, right? It's multiple properties utilizing the IDX feed. And every MLS has different rules, but for Stellar, there's nothing that I'm aware of that prevents us from doing that.
Okay.
Hey Brett, before you go to the next thing, can
questions?
you,
Yeah.
since we're not supposed to use our landing page, you're gonna get 0 for that, and I had to deal with some crap and I missed where did you point the ad to? I saw that long URL. Is that your team website, or where
Yeah,
did you put it?
it's my KW website. So whether it's a team website or you're a solo agent, either one, it's your Keller
I have my
Williams
team website, so that's where I should point the ad to.
Yep.
That's the URL I put in.
Yep. But now, so I'm glad you bring that up, Jim, because here's the other mistake that gets made. You run an ad on Facebook and you put a picture of a house there. This is true of whether it's search results or a single property listing, right? A lot of agents will do this. They'll create the ad on a single property, 3322 Sandpiper, my new listing. This house is beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And then when they click on the link, it goes to thebishopgroup.kw.com. And now I'm expecting that user to search for that property. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sending them to the front page of my website instead of sending them to the property on my website. And they click there and they don't see it and they go bye-bye, and they'll probably never click on another one of your ads.
Oh, so your URL is the actual listing on your website.
Okay, so I'm not doing it to a single property listing because those don't get very good leads either.
That's what you said.
I'm doing it as search results. So let me share my screen in here again, and I'll show you from the website.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody.
That's okay.
I had to put out a fire.
I think we all know how that goes.
Well, it's still burning.
Okay, so do you see the URL up here? Like where the website address is, Jim?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All of the search criteria that I chose went into this URL. So my website, I'm searching for sale in the city of Northport. This is just all longitude and latitude coordinates. Northport City, price under 400, subtype, house, listing status, active, keywords, pool. That is my search criteria. What I did was I went to my website. I put in Northport as the city to search for, went to for sale, made sure it was just for sale, went to my price range, set my price range. I'm not worried about beds and baths because that's not what this ad is about. Houses only, because it's only for houses. And then my filters, I just went over here and chose pool. And then I personally only chose active status because most of our MLSs in this area don't have a coming soon anymore anyway.
Right.
So I just chose that.
And
that
that's
gives
the
me
URL
9
that you plugged in
Yep.
on the command.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Brett.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, when you're doing the ad like that, and you're talking about grouping them together and saying you're sending 30 properties out to show them, is there a way to specify your property in like a featured out of all those to make yours stand out, or is it just going to rifle them all out and hope that they pick yours out of the 30?
Okay. So very good question, Bill, because that comes up a lot. And it used to be, we're going to see this live together, okay? Because it used to be that anytime you did a search, your property, if it was in that criteria, it would show up as the first property. So we're all going to have cheers together or fail miserably together when we see how this works, all right? I'm actually going to go to Punta Gorda and search for my listing there and see if it functions the way that you're talking about, Bill. And I hope it does because it used to function that way. All right, so now there's nothing in Punta Gorda in that area that is really under 400. So I'm actually going to take this price range to 950 and this one to 850. Apply. And then what else do I need here? For sale, houses. Yeah, so mine did not show up as the first one.
Does yours have a pool, and does that make a difference?
Yeah, it does have a pool, and yes, it would make a difference, but it does have a pool. Oh, I know. You know why? Because it's actually going in. Oh, there it is, right there. I changed the photo, and I forgot I changed the photo, so I blew right by it. That's it right there. So it does not show up first. Now, when you're customizing your website, and I have a website customization class coming up this month too, you can actually set that so that on your featured properties, it can show up in the beginning of this listing showcase. So this one happens to show my solds first because I have it set up that way. And then my listing that's active right now, and then whatever listings are in search criteria after that. So all of this is customizable too. Okay, so what I was going to, yeah.
How about like when you went to when you went to your feature page, can you specify on there that, hey, it's just reduced, or I don't know, put some type of power words on it, look at this one?
No, the problem is, where does all these come from? It comes from MLS IDX feed, right? And MLS does not allow us to put any kind of text on anything. So all these photos are automatically coming in from text, from the MLS. You could do an office exclusive listing. Does everybody know about that? For a while now, we've had the ability to create an office exclusive listing, where we create an office exclusive listing, upload our own photos, things like that. I guess, well, that still wouldn't work though, Bill, because now you have it on a public facing website and the MLSs will throw a fit and you'll have to have it publicly displayed within 24 hours. It's all MLS rules.
All right, how about is there a way to put it in? I don't want to say, like you're 1 out of 30, right? Is there a way to put your house in there 2 or 3 times so it's like they look at it and say, "Hey, I saw that one. I saw that one. What's this one all about? How come it's in there 3 times?"
No, okay, so two things to that. No, we can't do that. And then two, has anybody seen their listing 2 and 3 times on their website? I have. I have. Let me show you back in those search results. All right. Same listing, 1, 2, right? Anybody know why it's showing up more than once? Tell me, Brett.
Because you put in a radius search with multiple cities.
It's a good thought, but I love where you're going. It is multiple something, but not multiple cities. It's because it's listed in more than one MLS.
Ah, there you go.
So you can imagine in an area, this happens a lot down in South Florida, right? Where I'm at here, it typically will only happen twice because Stellar covers everything north, but then we got Florida Gulf Coast down to the south. So this is showing up from both of those MLS feeds. There is nothing we can do about it. It will always show multiple listings. So if this one listing was, say, even down in the Collier County MLS, then it'd be showing 3 times. Okay, so if you ever see that your property's on your website more than once, just understand it's because you have it listed in more than one MLS. No way for us to change that, unfortunately. And
well,
then,
you could change your lead picture.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. I could, so that I know which MLS it's coming from just by looking at it. Yeah, I could.
And people wouldn't even think it's the same one.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. Jeez, all of us nerds never thought about that. Good job, buddy. You want a job? Bill, what was your other question? So like, how would, oh yeah, I answered it. You can't deliberately like make it appear more than once. Yeah.
Except for the fact that now we could change the picture. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and
well,
is
it would have to be listed in multiple MLSs.
I guess my wife's listening to this. Is it hard for us to advertise it on different MLSs just compared to like where we're at Stellar?
You have to be a member.
So you'd have to be a member of like Hernando MLS
Yeah.
or Citrus MLS in our area.
It's the cost effectiveness. It's not
waste of
cost
money,
effective.
Bill.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, one thing you could do if you wanted to, is on the homepage. There's a couple things you can do. I'm going to ask questions and dig a little bit deeper. Okay, Bill? Why do we want to have it showcased so many times? Like in search results, I get it because you're hoping that they see yours more often than the other agents and they're going to buy one of yours, right?
Right. Exposure. And it gets back to the thing like our MLS only goes up, I think, to like Hernando County, and then I have to go to above Hernando County. And I was just, I just lost a listing because it didn't sell. And now that you mention it, I wonder if I would have been in the Hernando County MLS listing, if I would have got north of where I was and would have got more exposure.
Yeah. Donna, you guys are on Stellar, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm on Stellar too, Bill. And Stellar just has pockets that are missing. Stellar actually covers most of the state. It's a regional MLS. It covers from the Lee County line where I'm at here. It does not go into Lee County, but so however you look at that, Lee County line, Charlotte County line, whatever, up all the way through the Tampa area, Citrus County. Well, maybe not quite to Citrus, right?
No, Citrus has their own MLS.
Okay. So up towards Citrus County and then all the way across I-4, all the way up to just south of Jacksonville.
It's still Stellar, Brett. It's a different board, Bill. So like if you're in pro, like I'm in West Pasco, but then there's a Hernando MLS, that's all still Stellar. and then there's a citrus MLS, which is all still also sell. I had all
Yeah,
all of them
that's
at
what
one time.
that's
It was
what
like
I thought.
$1,000 a year for nothing.
Okay, so that's what I thought. But if you're with Stellar, you don't have to pay any extra money for all those boards. You don't.
Correct.
Stellar MLS is Stellar MLS. The boards are different. Those are boards of realtors versus Stellar MLS. If you're a member of Stellar MLS like you are, it will show all across Stellar. The
Yeah, but
reason
what you
it's-
had to do is I had to join that board. I had to
you
join the
shouldn't have
Citrus
to.
County board.
Stellar
and I
MLS
had
is
to
Stellar
join-
MLS.
Yeah,
No.
they ripped me off.
Yeah.
Jim, that for years. I'm so mad.
Yeah. So,
no.
so if we ever like when we post it, we don't have to do like citrus, right, Jim?
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have
No,
to
in
because
fact,
Citrus
I
County is
prefer
Stellar.
not to, Bill, just because there's so much fewer agents up there anyhow. I want the exposure to be where the agents are. And it's very frustrating because sometimes I'll see a listing that's only in like Citrus or Hernando MLS. Then you got to use that MLS Advantage, which
Right.
is terrible and it doesn't give you nearly enough information.
Right.
And then you don't even
Yeah.
get into the fact that the lock boxes won't go between boards, in that area. So I've had a problem where I couldn't get
that's-
into a listing because my
That's
super
the
wouldn't
only
open.
thing. Yeah, that's the only thing you have to worry about. Your listing will show up all across Stellar, no matter where it's listed from. If it's Stellar MLS, it's going to show up everywhere. But to access a home that's a different board of realtors, then you get into the lockbox situation that Jim's talking about.
If it's a Supra.
What's that?
If it's a Supra,
Yeah, if it's a Supra, yeah, absolutely. You could always do coded lock boxes. I run into the same thing here because I'm on the cusp of 2 MLSs, and like Brett's down in Florida Gulf Coast. Brett, you're Stellar too, aren't you? Yeah. See, Brett and I both are members of both of these boards, but if I want to access lock boxes down south in the main board down there, I have to call ahead and make sure I'm registered to be able to do that. A lot of times that's all it is. It's just a call so that you can do it. Let me move on here though, so I don't alienate everybody else that's here for what we're talking about. All right, so here's another way that you could showcase your properties if you want to do it multiple times. These are blog posts. We can use this blog to do so many different things. I'm going to show you an example of the Campbell team that I've been working with out of the Clearwater office and what we've done with their blog. One of the things that people love about Boomtown and Brivity websites is that when you go to the bottom of the pages of those websites, you have all of these pictures where I can choose on Port Charlotte homes and all the different price ranges and Northport homes and all the different price ranges, right? Agents love that for their website. We can do something very similar with our websites. But like for what Bill was talking about, I could have multiple blog posts of that same house if I wanted to post it multiple times on my website. So that's one opportunity you can have. Let me show you what their website looks like and what I coach them into creating. So when you go down their website, you can see we have turned their blog into community searches. Okay. So if I go to Dunedin, I click on Dunedin and I get information about Dunedin, and I have price range one-click searches for homes in specific price ranges within those cities. And it just takes me right there.
That's
Okay.
cool. Is that something easy to set up or?
Yeah. It just takes time, Patricia, but I can show you how to do the first page and then you can take it from there. Yep.
Okay.
All right. And then the cool thing is too, is that you'll notice it opens in a new tab, which we made it do that. So then I go to Palm Harbor and I have to show them that one didn't. Well, yeah, no, when I go to homes here, this is going to open in a new tab. Okay. So let's say they're searching on here and they don't like Palm Harbor. If I didn't deliberately have that open in a new tab and they click off of it, boom, they've lost me forever and they won't remember how to get back, right? But because we set those links to open in a new tab, they come back and my website's still open behind it. So that's something it's something that I'm going to talk about in that customizing the website class that's coming up. But keep in mind, these are other ideas for Facebook ads you could do. You you could, if you wanted to, send somebody to one of these pages instead that has information about Palm Harbor and then one-click links to go in and search properties. Okay, so just lots of different ideas to take the end user, the consumer, to something of value where they have more than just one property to click on, because those one property ads just don't get very many leads. They really just exist to make your seller happy.
Why couldn't you do it to like get a market analysis on your website where they could enter their information in and
So you can, Kathy, that's awesome. Does everybody have that set up? Does everybody know that you have a home value widget for your websites?
No, and in fact, I used to use Cloud CMA on Stellar all the time, and it's gone. They took it away. So I don't have a CMA program or any kind of valuation thing now.
Okay, so our websites for quite a while now have had the ability to have a property value widget. Okay, very much like a Zestimate, but if you build out, it has to be a custom page, and you build it out with the What's My Home Worth widget. You can see here when I go to more, I can go to What is my home worth? And then here's the widget right here. You put in the address. It will, start auto-populating based on what it thinks your address is going to be. Let's go. Put in your information. So there's lead capture here.
While you're typing that in, is there lead capture as people hit the, like a couple pages back where you chose the dollar value of the homes you're looking for? Does that capture the lead on that? No,
okay. But if we were doing a Facebook ad to take somebody to that page, Bill, the Facebook ad would have already captured it with the Facebook lead capture form. Okay. We got TCPA stuff we got to check here, and then get my valuation. And there's my valuation. Probably a little low right now, but it's in the ballpark.
Hey, Brett, can you use that value tool with a custom URL?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you know what? I don't want to take everyone's time with that. Maybe I jump on tomorrow and you show me that on your.
You just don't want to give anybody else the idea.
No, listen.
No, I'm kidding.
All of you can have the idea. I don't care about that.
Come on, Bill. Come on, Jim. Share with us.
Yeah,
It's like I got my I live in Concord Station in Land O'Lakes, and I got my Concord Station home values URL, and I've had it for years. And I used to use listings to leads for my landing page, where I would offer it out on our Facebook group. So you want to know what your home's worth? Click here. And I used to I got a ton of leads from that. Well, then I'm not sure if I don't have listings to leads anymore because they kept raising the price, and I got tired of it, and I wasn't getting much from it. So I just said, fine, I'll do my own landing page. When I came to Keller Williams, I saw the landing page, thing in Command, but I haven't played with it yet. But This is what I want, to have that. What is my home worth? I can link it to my URL, and they can click on it and get their value, and I get a lead.
Yeah.
Sign me up. I want that.
It's already there. It's already there.
I want to have it.
So anybody can get one-on-one with me or jump on a pro desk and we can go through it. So remember I told you that I test stuff before it's available. You saw how we had to get to this one, right? We go to more. What is my home worth? Now, as it stands currently, I could actually have this up in the navigation too, so I don't have to hit more first. And I'm not going to talk about this because I'm not allowed to, but if you make observations because I have a website that utilizes it, then you let me know. You guys see it?
yes. So when will we get options to that?
Don't know yet. Don't know yet.
I didn't see
That's
nothing.
something that
Did you
everybody's
write
been
that
looking
code?
for. What's that?
I don't see anything.
Did you
I
write
need
that
my
code,
glass-
Brett?
Yeah, me neither. I got to scroll over.
So another question for you is, can I link my Google Business page to this website?
Sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can create a Google reviews page if you want. I mean,
That's what
yeah.
I want to do. Yeah.
So our custom pages have a lot of flexibility, and that's as it stands now. There's a lot of flexibility with custom pages and even landing pages. So like with what Bill was saying, I could create my own landing page if I want. That's a whole bunch of my own listings. I mean, it's awesome what we can do with these custom pages and landing pages. You just have to kind of know exactly what you want to do, and then we can do it. Yep. Let me show you that search real quick. So who's got a specific neighbor? Is anybody in a gated community?
Not
Brett?
me.
What's your community, buddy? You're on mute, bud.
Eagle Reserve.
Eagle Reserve, and then Fort Myers or Estero?
Fort Myers.
Okay. There's probably not a there's probably
There's not
not
a next door.
Yeah, there's not a next door for it.
No. Okay.
Okay, but along those same lines, we're going to pretend that Brett lives in Reserve at Estero. I don't know if that's an upgrade or a downgrade, but that's where he lives for these purposes. All right, so I'm going to click on that. And it's going to give me a map here that shows me exactly what those neighborhood boundaries are. Okay, so this is how we could do an ad to a gated community by utilizing the nextdoor.com neighborhoods. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a gated community, but if there's a nextdoor.com neighborhood for this area, then you can market just to that Nextdoor neighborhood if you want.
And it will find all the people that Facebook matches that live just in that neighborhood?
No, I don't mean it like that.
Okay.
But we're going to market properties that are specific to that neighborhood.
That was a good question, Brett, because that's what I
It-
was thinking too.
It was a great question, and I wish the answer was yes, but it's not. All right, so we're going to use that. And then when I go over here to create my ad, let me save this one. Yeah, let me get that budget down before I accidentally run that. All right, save as draft. And now I'm going to run a new program. And then here's all those boxes that we were talking about. Patricia, I think this is what you asked about, how we choose the one. So we're going to choose any of these that have a blue includes Facebook lead form. Those are the ones that are going to utilize the lead capture built into Facebook so that they've already entered that information. Well, it's automatically entered by Facebook for them. They just have to confirm it, which is why we get more leads that way. And then they end up on our page of value, which is the search parameters that we've given them a list of properties.
Okay.
We want to stay away from these ones that say use your own landing page, unless there's, like I said, 99% of agents are never going to have a reason to use one of these. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do non-listing. If I do any of these with listing, it's going to ask me for the listing number and want to make it specifically about a listing. I almost never use those. Okay, because I want my own link in there. I want my own photos. These are all going to have information about the listing that you choose, and it makes you choose a listing before you can move on. So mine are almost always going to be non-listing single image or video, or non-listing multi-image carousel. So I'm going to click on that, and then postal code or city. What the heck was the name of that? I don't know if this, I thought this was bringing up Reserve at Estero. Let's see what we get with this. Yeah, this is only doing postal codes or city. But we're gonna, whatever this zip code is, let me find it. So that zip code is 33967, so I can start at 33967 if I want. And then my ad is going to be, are you looking for a home in Reserve at Estero or whatever that neighborhood's called. So I can build an ad around a specific neighborhood if I want to. Like, let's say even in a down market, right? We have some neighborhoods that are so niche that they're still hot or they're hotter than other areas. If I want to do business, let me target those areas where the market's better. And I can do that with these ads by utilizing the nextdoor.com neighborhood. Yes, Patricia.
I was gonna ask, on the page before, when you have the options like, and it had the Instagram, Facebook, there is one that's Google.
Mhm.
Have you noticed like a better outcome from the ads on stuff that's on Google versus Facebook and Instagram,
So
or vice versa?
I personally don't use the Google ads. And here's
Okay.
why. And it even tells you monthly recurring subscription. Okay.
Oh, really?
I believe it's a $250 minimum. And there's a minimum time frame of months too, whether it's 3 or 6, I don't remember. But I never do the Google ads because they are just so expensive. I don't even
I
teach
see.
to them. I'll answer questions because your question is great. It's valid. A lot of people have that question, but I don't even teach to it because they're just so expensive.
That's the Google
I
AdWords,
see.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at that. They're crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, I have one more question. This is related to,
Okay.
and I don't care if everybody else does it because I think there's enough visuality for all of us.
I
So,
love it.
yeah. I want to do a first-time home buyer seminar with my mortgage broker. Could I
Okay.
use Command to generate a landing page and something in order to advertise and put ads towards that, and then like so that I can capture, you know what I mean? People can sign up, kind of a thing. Offer something of value. I don't know. Enter them for a free gift card or something.
Mhm.
Like reward for participating or coming and getting the data. Besides the data.
You know that
You see what I mean? What I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah. You know that 1% that I said most agents will never use these for, right? Because it's just that 1% thing.
Is
That is
on
that
their
one.
category?
That is that 1% thing that you would use one of these use your landing page lead
Oh.
forms for,
Okay, got it.
because signing up in itself is the value. Because when they sign up, they're going to get to come to the seminar, or they're going to get a chance to win the gift card or something like that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brett,
So what you're talking about, Patricia, is specifically the reason we would use one of these others. Yeah, Brett.
what if she created either a Facebook event or a Google event and then made that the URL so people went to the event and the event was a sign up page?
Yeah, absolutely. You could do that, which is great. You could do a Google form. You could send them to an Eventbrite, any of that kind of stuff. Yep.
Okay, so Brett, just remember from the other Brett that what he said, because it went over my head, and I'm gonna like make a time with you
That's
because I want
fine.
to do this. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Oh,
That-
is there a way to do that for sellers too? Like, not obviously a seller's presentation, but something to advertise to sellers to get seller leads in that regard? Is there a way to do
Yeah,
that?
you could. So I'd probably do it as a combination of like what I just showed about choosing a specific neighborhood.
Mhm.
And then in conjunction with you could almost do it as a digital golden letter. You guys remember me teaching about the golden letter, right? So the golden letter is asking them if they're aware of how much value they have in their home, kind of thing. You could do this as an electronic version of that.
Okay, I'd like to try that, so I'm going to be making some sessions with
Yeah,
you then.
let's talk about
Yeah.
that and think more specifically about exactly what that looks like.
Okay, thank you.
Donna, did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted clarity on something that you said earlier when you did the search link on your website for 400 and under school loans.
Yep.
You said something, it kind of threw me off. There should be more than 10 properties that show up in the in the results because you need at least 10 clicks to get a lead.
So Brett Ellis was mentioning that if you have if you have your lead capture set at 10 listings,
Yeah.
right? What did you say? If you have less than that, you're never going to capture them. Okay, so like let's say I take you to a search result that only has 8 people or 8 properties, right? But my lead
Yep.
capture is set at 10.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotta go back to that.
The only thing to that, like I like what Brett said, and there's a lot of thought behind that. The only difference is I've already captured their lead when they came over from Facebook.
Okay.
So it's kind of irrelevant in this specific case, but what he said is absolutely true if I'm like trying to advertise that page on my own without using Facebook.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's where the disconnect is.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that in this case though, because Facebook's already using their own lead capture form before they even send them to my website. Great questions. I love it. Anybody got anything else?
When are you doing your computer class? Because I can't find it on the calendar.
The website class?
Website class, sorry.
Let me check my email real quick. Because Angela and I were finalizing some things because the training calendar got kind of crazy this month. Let me look. I believe it's the 18th. Let me see. Where'd that go? Did I already close it? Probably.
It's going to be Zoom or on person?
It's going to be Zoom. Because it's pretty easy to do by Zoom. Even if we do it as a workshop, I mean, we can kind of share screens with each other and stuff. And then obviously you'll get the recording. So let me see. Websites. Okay. In Tampa, moved it. Yeah, February 17th. It was the 18th. It's going to be February 17th from 4 to 5:30. 4 to 5:30 is not a hard number. If there's questions and stuff, I'm happy to go over, but that's what we'll plan on for the content and then address any things after that.
Can our admin join it?
Absolutely. You guys are always welcome to bring your admin. You're welcome to bring guests that you want to know what training's like at KW, any of that. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to be at family reunion, so I'm going to have the girls go.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, as long as I get to see all your beautiful and handsome faces, that's all I care about. I don't want to look at a bunch of AI note takers. I love that you guys have that tech savvy to use them, but I just want to know that there's real people here. That's all.
No, this is really very helpful. I really appreciate you doing this. Yeah.
Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that.
Definitely.
Anybody else have
This
any
is the
questions?
KW value added service that nobody knows about that is literally freaking worth tons and tons of money.
Oh my.
Wait a minute. I need to renegotiate.
I know you need to
contract.
negotiate your contract.
agent.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'll be your agent, dude. I'll take 30% and I'll get you paid.
All right, awesome.
And thank you, Brett. It's really great.
You're
You're
welcome.
always, I always learn from you.
Thank you, Kathy. I always love having everybody in my class for sure, too.
I'm
Thank you.
gonna jump on the thing tomorrow from 10 to 12 and
Okay.
we'll figure out that landing page thing. So that'll be cool.
Okay. Yeah. And so everybody knows too. I mean, you're welcome to pop in and just see if I'm working with anybody. If you just want to be there and absorb what we're talking about, that's fine too. It's open to just hang out and creep in the background and see what's going on.
I will create the Facebook ad to see what happened this time.
Okay.
And I will let you know.
Okay. Sounds great, Myra.
Yeah, I love that.
All right,
landing
everybody.
page.
thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you
guys.
so much. Have a
Bye-bye.
good night.
You
Bye.
too.